Now, it's not hyperbole to claim that many of the greatest games of all time are sequels. Half-Life 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Mass Effect 2, Portal 2, and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt are just a few examples of this practice. They all expanded on their predecessors in an exciting way, garnering critical acclaim and allowing their respective studios to skip happily all the way to the bank. But sometimes a studio decides to release a sequel without actually telling you it's a sequel, and that's what we're here to talk about today as
sequels that we didn't know were sequels. Whoa.
Number 9, Code Vein and God Eater. Bandai Namco's Code Vein is a stylish and action-packed Souls-like that blends sci-fi anime visuals.
Now that's crazy. I always wanted to play God Eater. And I always wanted to play Code Vein. I'm waiting for Code Vein too though, you know what I mean?
Number 7, Days Gone and Siphon Filter.
What?
On the one hand, you've got a spy thriller full of espionage and counter-terrorism, and on the other, you've got a zombie-infested post-apocalyptic horror by a biker. Now, one of these things is not like the other, and yet, Siphon Filter and Days Gone are related. In fact, the latter is a loose sequel to the former. The journey of Deacon in Days Gone places you in a ravaged Oregon, battling against hordes of infected known as Freakers. Where did the virus affecting these people come from? Well, some fascinating Easter eggs pinpoint a direct connection to Siphon Filter, implying that it is a strand of that titular virus. There are many allusions to Siphon Filter, such as the Nero soldiers resembling the CBDC operatives and an unlockable taser with the protagonist Gabe Logan's initial clear-cut evidence comes from documents found at the Cloverdale laboratory. These documents name-drop the characters Gabe Logan, Lang Xing, Teresa Li Pan, and Lawrence Majari directly, as well as locations targeted by the Siphon Filter virus and the terrorist organization.
I never knew that. Now y'all know what I did to Days Gone. To me, that's just the craziest connection ever. Siphon Filter and Days Gone. Who would have thought that, bro? Oh yeah, Days Gone. Waiting on Days Gone too, y'all. Come on, Sony.
Number 2, Shadow of the Colossus and Ico. If you wanted to plead the case for video games as legitimate art form, you'd get a lot of mileage out of the games Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. You hunt down and destroy 16 massive colossi in the hopes of reviving a young girl named Mono. At the end of the game, the protagonist Wanda is reborn as a small child with horns that makes him look suspiciously like an infant version of the titular character from Ico. There are theories that Team Ico's The Last Guardian is also connected, making the games a complete trilogy, although these links are far more tenuous.
I've seen it, man. I mean, that was crazy. A lot of those sequels, I did not know they were sequels, man. And that Days Gone, that was wild. Now, one that they didn't talk about, you know, Soulsborne, baby.
Namely, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and Elden Ring share the same universe. There are the arch trees in 3 of the 4 games, Elden Ring's references to the land of Ashina in Sekiro, and of course the presence of characters like Patches and the Moonlight Sword. However, determining whether these things are meaningful connections that tell an overarching story or merely just Easter eggs and homages is difficult.
Hold up, the Moonlight Sword is in Bloodborne? What? I did not know that.
Difficult, to say the least. As far as I know, there has never been a single story element that unites these 4 games together. But today, I want to offer up that link. After recently completing all of the Miyazaki-era From Software games, I have become convinced that there is a secret god whose presence is felt in these 4 IPs. To use Elden Ring's terminology, it is an outer god. Just like the gods of rot or death, it is a personified force of nature, trying to influence world events. One that is antagonistic to the religious/political orders established by the likes of Gwyn from Dark Souls or Marika from Elden Ring. I will state outright ideas. Now, to explain who this outer god is as efficiently as I can, I will first state outright who it is, then I will list its characteristics and how those characteristics show up in the 4 games, then I will conclude by trying to determine what influence this god is.
So as you see, man, I mean, the whole Dark Souls connected. I don't care what nobody say. And them 2 swords that they always got in almost every game, that blue sword and that red sword, the blue sword, they're both from Kingsfield. The first Demon Souls, in Dark Souls. So I will go as far as back there. So I mean, this universe stuff get deep. And if you remember, in the end of the first Dark Souls, it was a tall guy with a hat and his eyes covered that brought you to Bloodborne. And even in the new Night Reign, the lady who does the bonfire, you know what I'm talking about, how she joins the fight, her eyes are covered. So I mean, this is crazy, y'all. It's a big world, and I bet you it's a lot that I don't even know. Let me know if y'all know any more in the comments, man. This is crazy.